Hello guys, welcome to Aniswift TV.
Our story starts off with a girl, Nozomi, watching a booby fight and deciding she wants to join the sport. She goes for tryouts at the Western school and is told that their test will be a normal match where they can only use their assets. The competition begins with Nozomi running and but jabbing someone. She tries to fight back but Nozomi dodges. She gets surrounded but she evades the attack, then jumps over her opponent. She uses her special technique to score a double kill. They surround her again but stars intervene and one-shots all the girls around Nozomi. She walks towards her and jabs her in the face but Nozomi pushes her head into her pillows to stop it. They begin clashing viciously with Nozomi dodging a signature blow. She slams her paradises into her and begins pushing her away. Stars gets serious and pushes back but Nozomi grabs her, then dodges her asset and begins to counter-attack. Nozomi gets ready to finish off Stars, but she gets a devastating blow to the face and falls into the water. Days later, Nozomi gets off the plane for her first day of training and tries to get interviewed, but they abandon her for Miyata. They head inside and find their dorms. They see two girls inside that will be on the same team as them. The party heads to training. The instructor makes them work on their lower body first, then makes them start leg day. The instructor tells them that they will be training like this every day until they make it to the elite class. They do 100 sit-ups, 100 pull-ups followed by a 10-kilometer run every day until the teacher calls them for a test. She tells them to toss the ball to each other, but they can only use their face sitters. Miyata tosses the ball but her teammates run into each other. They try again but the wind blows the ball away. Nozomi runs after the ball but collides with Ponytails. She admires her head holders and gets pushed away. They try to predict where the ball is going but they somehow find Ponytail always standing where the ball is every time. Nozomi realizes that she always goes where the ball will land. She begins looking at Ponytail's hair and begins directing the team on where to go in order to toss the ball. They are 1 point away from the highest score when Nozomi suddenly gives the team the wrong coordinates. Ponytails realizes this and screams the correct location to them, causing Nozomi to go up and toss it, allowing them to take first place. In the night, Ponytail tells them that the reason she doesn't talk is that she is insecure about her accent, but they tell her it's fine. The party is now allowed to train on the field. Miyata admires Nozomi's seat warmers but Nozomi likes melons more and questions Ponytails about hers. The teacher comes in and tells them that in the test they will have to fight against the trainers. The team steps in with the big teacher. Nozomi goes first but gets blocked. They begin ganging up on her with different attacks. Nozomi, realizing she is distracted, jumps up in the air and uses an attack that forces the teacher to dodge and causes all the girls' clothes behind to get deleted. She falls over and reveals she blew her back out, causing the teacher to send her to the doctor. Nozomi gets back and asks what she missed in class. Miyata reveals that there are 3 types of fighters: infighters who uses strength, outfighters who use speed, and counters who use opponents' attacks against them. Miyata decides that she will be an outfighter since she is fast. They scold her for ripping their swimsuits when Stars in the rank 1 walks in to check on Nozomi. They reveal that the attack she used was the vacuum butt cannon, an attack that even pro players can't use. Nozomi decides to master this technique when another elite cat appears and tells Nozomi to leave her party and join their group instead. It's revealed that she is the fastest fighter in the school. They ask for a demonstration, then she teleports to her teammate and fondles her to completion. The elites tell Nozomi of an upcoming event that will allow whoever passes to jump to their rank. The next day, Nozomi meets with the big teacher. She tells Nozomi to never use the attack again because if it's misused it can end her career by damaging her hips. Nozomi bows to the teacher and begs her to teach her the vacuum butt cannon. She brings her to a locker and makes Nozomi put on a BDSM suit. She struggles to walk, eat, and even sleep with it on. A few days later, she realizes that she has to relax her muscles in order to move in it. The day of the competition arrives. The teachers tell them that in order to move up they will have to defeat an elite. Miyata's group goes up first. She attacks Kat but she dodges. The other girls attack Kat but they get knocked away and falls off the platform. She charges at Miyata but she blocks her. The elite gets serious and hits Miyata with the Omni Booty Slash. She pushes Miyata to the edge of the ring and prepares to end it but Miyata smiles, then hits her with a special move. They begin using high speed but auras. They are both even but Miyata begins to get exhausted and starts getting overwhelmed. Miyata gives herself a wedgie and begins channeling the speed force. She teleports around and hits the elite with a combo breaker. Kat gets pushed back, then Miyata hit her with the butt Gatling. cat congratulate her on winning and they decide to train together. She goes up to her party for help and they pull with all their force in order to dislodge the suit from her lap warmer. The next round begins. The two girls charge at the elite, but she turns around and pushes them back. She reveals her but is an impenetrable wall and an unstoppable weapon at the same time. The elite jumps up and attacks Squishy, but Squishy proves that the elite's assets is as impenetrable as Wall Maria when she full counters the attack back at the elite with her soft buns. The third round begins against the rank 1 elite. Ponytails rush at her but is easily dodged and gets countered. The other girls begin attacking the rank 1 while Ponytails command them on how to attack. They begin pushing the rank 1 back and Ponytails reveals that she touched all the girls' assets at school, so she knows everything about her body so she can predict what the rank 1 can do. Rank 1 compliments her, then begins shaking her fun bags and laughing, causing everyone who beholds her beauty to fall under its Tsukuyomi. The rank 1 walks towards the helpless girls and tosses them into the water, defeating them all. The last round begins with the elite turning her back on the girls. One of them attacks her but she counters. Purple begins sliding on the floor and commands her but to assassinate her targets. Nozomi attacks but she gets easily pushed away. Nozomi runs away from Purple with her homing asset closing in. She dodges her attack at the last moment, then puts her curves on the elite and begins vibrating her to stimulate the lower region to paralyze her. The elite turns around and uses her pillows to knock Nozomi back and declares that she is going to sink her. Purple comes at her with her buns and hits her with a shoryuken. She attacks relentlessly but Nozomi starts adapting to her moves. The elite hits her with her strongest attack but Nozomi still stands. She uses the vacuum but cannon on Purple but she dodges. She uses it again and clashes with the elite's special attack, but Nozomi wins and rips off all her opponent's clothes. The teacher congratulates all the women for doing their best and motivates them to keep getting better as they train. Nozomi meets with the big teacher. She tells Nozomi that her body has adjusted so she can now use the special move easier. Ponytails come to her group and tells them goodbye since she is going to be sent away because she lost her round. But they reveal that she passed the competition because the rank 1 used a pro technique on trainees, so she was punished instead. The next day, the elites go on a trip to train. The teacher tells them that they will be training with pros for a while in order to get better, but they will be split into groups based on their fighting type. They go out for morning training when a woman runs past them. Nozomi tries hard to catch up, but she falls further behind. They get tired and stop the chase. They see the lady walking back and Squishy trips, causing boards to fall. The lady uses a special technique to knock them away, and it's revealed that the lady is a pro player that's there to teach the infighters. She starts the training by challenging each of them to a 1v1. Nozomi steps up first and attacks, but the pro dodges all her blows. She lands on pillows and gets pushed away. Nozomi tries to use her special move, but the pro stops her from spinning and sends her flying like skipping a stone. The pro tells her that she isn't using her body properly and she will never improve until she begins to. Nozomi undresses herself in front of Miyata and asks her if there is something wrong with her body. Miyata tells her that if she wants to figure out her weakness, she should watch the pro and copy her. The next day they do training in the water. Nozomi is defeated by a branch. She watches as the pro walks and knocks all the branches away easily. Nozomi tries to do the same but gets punished. She sees a branch coming and knocks it away, but she starts to realize that she's become slower because her butt has gotten bigger. The next day, all the girls put on BDSM suits and trains on platforms. The pro brings Nozomi to a farm. The pro tells Nozomi to use her butt to pull turnips from the ground. She attempts to many times, but she fails to do it successfully. Rank 1 comes then gives it a try and pulls out the turnip perfectly on her first time. Nozomi asks for advice on how to do it, but Rank 1 tells her that she will show her all the techniques if she visits her tonight. Nozomi decides she will figure it out herself and starts back training. She realizes that her thickness is not something to refuse, and she embraces her assets, then pulls out the turnip successfully. The teacher tells them that the next competition will begin and they should choose the person they want to fight against. Rabbit challenges Nozomi to a fight for the affection of the rank 1. Nozomi tells her she didn't ask for her attention but will accept. The fight begins with Rabbit dodging all her attacks, then turning into a Beyblade. She tells Nozomi that she is too slow, then Nozomi uses her butt flash and hits her. The girl runs toward Nozomi, then hits her in the face. She gets her in the corner and prepares to finish her, but Rabbit dodges. Nozomi then uses the full power of thickness and crushes her opponent under her giant assets. The next day, the elites go towards the arena in order to compete against the Eastern School. They hear the coach from another school badmouthing their teachers. The girls go over to stop the slander, but Ribbon steps between them and says to leave. She blows back Nozomi, but she counters by ripping her sleeves. The rank 1 starts using a sandstorm, but the twins from the other school stops it. A gang war was about to start when Nozomi's teachers bow their heads and apologize. She scolds them for starting a fight with the enemy school's students and tells them that the only fighting should be inside the ring. The next day, the girls get ready to compete in the competition. The first round begins. Miyata runs at the enemy team, but a girl taking steroids jumps in between them. The twins do a combo attack on one of Miyata's allies, causing them to be down one player. They triple team the girl on hormone pills and evens out the score. Purple uses her homing butt attacks on her opponent, but it gets blocked, so she runs away. Miyata opens the 8 gates and saves her ally. The enemy uses her Sharingan to feel around her opponent's body and find all her weak spots. The rank 1 comes in and gives her advice before going over to the twins and having a threesome. Purple uses the full power of her assets, but the enemy uses the Sharingan to dodge her attacks and eliminates her. Miyata sends her panties to God Realm and abuses her opponent with flash steps all over the place. She uses her eyes to catch Miyata, but she begins to push her to the edge. Miyata's legs give out and her opponent starts to attack her relentlessly, then hits her with the Shoryuken. Miyata pushes her back and begins massaging her head placers. Miyata slips a nip and flips her opponent to the ground, eliminating her. The rank 1 decides she's done having fun and brings her fight to a climax. Nozomi goes over and congratulates Miyata on winning. The second round begins. The rabbit runs forward and attacks, but her opponent deflects her blow and punishes her whiffs. The buff woman confronts the blue-hair girl. She uses the butt buff jutsu, but her opponent counters with the butt enhancing spell. Squishy and Ponytail are targeted by a girl that can set her assets on fire. Ponytail activates her trap card and they jump on the plane, knocking off 2 of the enemy team. The black-hair girl smiles and walks towards her. The beefcake tightens her asset but still gets one shot. Rabbit runs away, but she catches up and knocks her into heaven. They get surrounded by the 2 girls. Ponytails tells them to 2v1 Fairy while she 1v1 the raid boss. She attacks the black-hair girl and uses one of Nozomi's techniques. It's revealed that her entire team made her squeeze their buns so she can gain their abilities. She begins using her teammates' moves to push back her opponent and begins overwhelming her. Ponytails open the gates of Bootylan and uses the rank 1 technique to knock her victim away, then begins winning the fight. The black-hair girl twists her milkers and slams them into Ponytails to push her back. She uses the attack again, but Squishy comes in and saves her. The fairy girl attacks Rabbit, but she decides to eliminate her along with herself. The black-hair girl uses her attack, but they use their buns to stop each titties. She knocks away Squishy with her butt, but she shakes the arena before she falls, weakening Black-hair's special move. Ponytails summons the gates and use her teacher's attack on the student, causing them both to be eliminated. The judges review the tape and it showed that because Ponytails dropped in the pool first, they lost the match. The last round begins. Nozomi attacks the ribbon girl, but she gets launched into the air. Nozomi places her head between some cushions and finds out she's using chi in her attacks. A giant woman interrupts her fight and uses her buttocks on Titan technique, but Ribbon stops it and blasts her teammate away so they can have a fair one-on-one. Stars and Cat Lady 2v2 the enemies. Joker's milkshake starts glowing and blinds the girls. Stars try to knock her out, but she does the flash dash. Stars realize that she is using her boobies to reflect the sunlight into her eyes. Joker straight up starts teleporting with her teammate, causing them to be pushed back. The cat girl runs around Joker. She notices that Cat is topless. The bra blocks out the sun, then Cat dashes at Joker and hits her with the butt Gatling. The 2 women does the fusion technique. They knock Cat away, then prepare to finish her, but Stars blocks them. The big woman suddenly gets pushed into the girls. Joker sees a new opponent and splits the fusion in order to attack her. She gets into her range of the samurai and she quick draws her nipple, while the bubble butt gets teamed on and eliminated. Nozomi continues to fight with Ribbons. She decides to use the vacuum butt cannon, but Ribbons was able to withstand it. Nozomi spams the attack until Ribbons' legs begin getting weak. She prepares one more vacuum butt cannon, but Ribbons' split personality, White, takes over and effortlessly pushes Nozomi away, but Cat saves her. White decides the big lady is annoying and eliminates her. The samurai tries to stop her, but she catches her tits and gets eliminated. The cat tries the butt gatling but gets grabbed and punished. Stars hit her with a critical strike, but it does nothing. White shakes her nipples and uses a shockwave attack on Nozomi that makes her lose balance. White goes over and begins giving Nozomi the work. Stars begins massaging her boobs and places them on Nozomi's back to power her up before getting eliminated. White charges at Nozomi, but it does nothing. She tries to hit her with a sonic wave, but Nozomi copies her attack and hits her with many special techniques, then uses the vacuum butt cannon and push her to the edge. Nozomi asks Ribbons to come out and stop hiding behind White. Ribbons begins taking control and pushes Nozomi back. Nozomi decides to put all her power in her next attack. They clash fiercely. Ribbons deflect her blow with the left titty, but Nozomi transfers her energy into her boobs. Her titty begins to squeeze through, but Ribbons stop it. Nozomi's nipple claims the MVP and knocks Ribbons into the water, defeating her. The Western school comes on stage and celebrates their victory. They go to an after party with all the competitors and begin celebrating with all the participants. Days later, Nozomi and Miyata graduates and gets ready to join their organization. They take a picture, then part ways and head off to continue their journey to rise in the sports of Keijo. That will be all for today. Like the video if you liked the video, subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.